Good afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Wisdom Circle. Today we have Sunpsychic Jean as a presenter, and we're here with Wisdom Seeker Joan and Terry Suzuki of Kigaru Spiritual Journeys. And of course, I'm here with my buddy Heather. So, hello everyone. Welcome to our show today. It's going to be on symbolism, spirituality, and symbolism. So, my name's Priscilla with my co host Heather, and we'd like to welcome our fellow circle members, Jean, Joan, and Terry Suzuki. Terry Lee is out ill today, but we hope she'll be back next month. The goal of the Wisdom Circle is to share, support, and validate each other, as well as others who are following a spiritual path. We're here to share and discuss spirituality related theories, experiences, information, and perspectives from diverse backgrounds and points of view. We hope to make you laugh, to feel included, and maybe gain some insight or perspective on whatever is happening to you on your spiritual journey. Our individual paths are unique. Each one of us is different. So please take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. And remember, this is for entertainment and spiritual purposes only. Today's about spiritual symbolism, and Jean will be today's host. So all participants' contact details are in the description of each Wisdom Circle video, as is a list of future Wisdom Circle shows, dates, presenters, and subjects. So please check that out when you have a chance. And now I'll turn things over to Jean.
Oh, thank
Welcome,
you.
everybody. Thanks for being here.
You,
I love our
you're,
monthly get-togethers.
Yeah.
it is so much fun, and I've been anticipating this for several weeks now. And I have been. It's been my pleasure to be the recipient of spiritual symbolism. And when I speak to my guides and the guides speak to all of us, they give us messages through symbols. Sometimes, like my friend Terry reminded me that sometimes it's dimes, sometimes it's feathers, sometimes it's, clouds, pictures in the clouds, sometimes it's songs, music, and sometimes it is something that we're not really expecting, something that is makes us think, makes us consider um, what the meaning could be, and it really stretches us. And what our spirit guides are doing is they're guiding us to um, our imagination. They're guiding us to our creative side of our brain, not in the analytical, not in the rational, but in the creative side of our brain. So if we see peacock feathers and we think, what would that? Why would they be showing us peacock feathers? We go up into our creative side of our brain and we imagine, and this is where all of the magical, spiritual information, connection, and experiences come from, through our imagination, through our creative side of our brains. And it is once you train yourself to recognize these, it is just absolutely magical. It is. I can't even say that what all I could. It's very enchanting. It's very enchanting, and it's amazing the amount of information that comes through. If you just allow, if you just believe, if you just go with it, it is really very important information, and this is the way they communicate with us. So I'm just very excited to make have this presentation, and I'll just break for just a moment to say hello to everybody in the chat, and then I'll describe what I'm going to be describing in just a moment is a journey that Terry Suzuki and myself did together that had an amazing amount of synchronicities, symbolism, and significant phrases and uh, appearances. So, yeah. I just wanted to say hello to Ron, Unconditional Love, and Jay and Sherry Luke. Indigo Jaguar is here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. You guys are such a wonderful support to the channel. And Ruth Bryant is here. Hi, Ruth. It's so nice of you to be here. And Terry holding your space. Amanda Carroll, Hypnicity, and Kigaru's here. Clark Kemper is here. Yeah. And Karen, thank you all very much for being here. It's really, oh, and Heather's here. Hi, Heather. Thanks. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It just feels like such a wonderful group of friends together, high vibrational, like minded individuals that are open to understanding maybe a different perspective or a new perspective on spiritual symbolism. So, do any of you want to add anything before I go into my description?
I'm going to add one little thing. I am very left brained, and it's taken me a really long time to get this spiritual symbolism because I think my imagination is just my imagination, but it's not. It's just as you described it. But those of us that are super left brain, it can be really hard to let go of that and just go for the intuition.
It is. It took me 25 years, and I remember when I first did my very first shamanic journey. I remember I could barely. I would go. They would do the drum. They would do the drum, and we would all close our eyes and have like a focus point, and we would go to reach our guides. And the ability for me to follow, find, realize, understand, or picture. It was so hard to grasp. It was so fleeting. It was almost like a millisecond would go by, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what was that? I know that was something. And then it would be blank, blank, blank. And then all of a sudden it would be like a millisecond. I would be like, what was that? And it was just so fleeting. It's really,
Yeah.
it takes a while to develop that muscle to into that
It absolutely
imagination.
does.
How about anybody else? And White Wolf Mother is here. Hi, White Wolf Mother. So nice to see you. All right. So go ahead.
Well, I was just going to add that I have always had a big imagination. I'm probably way more right-brained than most people. But still, it even took me a long, long time to understand them. And even still, when I go on journeys with people, I see what I see, but I don't always understand it and have to look it up later. Like, does a peacock feather mean or something? And of course, I just love it when we're all doing something and then we share later and it's like, oh my God, I missed that part.
Absolutely.
I think all the symbolism is just a slight bit different for each person. So that what means something to you may mean something a little bit different to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But by being together and being able to discuss it, we make sure that we do get all of the message.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that spirit takes you where you are and feeds you enough breadcrumbs to lead you along. Most of my symbols are very of this world and not very esoteric. Sometimes because they know I know religious iconography from growing up, they'll throw in something like that. Or lots of times it's like, the kink in the garden hose. Well, I know about, it's because you can't get the flow going through. Well, I know about that because I'm out watering the garden and get kinks in the hose every morning. So they'll take you where you are and for their purpose. And sometimes if they're using more esoteric ones, the purpose is to help lead us along into a deeper understanding. So they can get us on all different levels with symbols.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's so true. And I say that they use our reservoir, or our bank, our memory bank, or our reserve bank, and what we know, what our experiences
Things that we
in
can
our
relate
life.
to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they tell you just enough that you would be recognize it, and and know the idea that they're trying to get at, but they also lead you to go deeper, to find out
Yes.
more. It's not just a hose with a kink in it. It's about the flow and what happens. And they allow us to elaborate and to grow and to use our imagination to filter out that full message, round it out. It's really, it's very magical, and it may answer a lot of questions that a lot of people have every day. Like, how do I connect to my guides? How do I can't hear my guides. Well, this is just a good example of a way that we've uncovered. Also, I just wanted, I see everybody in the chat. I thank you everybody for coming. We're not going to be doing any personal readings today. This is a presentation and an educational offering of some information of our experience. So we appreciate you all being here, and but we're not going to be doing any personal readings today. All right. So the presentation that I'm going to be showing you next is a experience that Kigaru, Terry Suzuki, and myself, we did a spiritual journey together. And we do this regularly to get messages for our own benefit and also for practice. And we uncovered an amazing amount of synchronicities and symbolism in this one journey, this one spiritual journey. It was so profound. We were both like, I can't believe all of these things are connecting back to something else. It was really profound, and it had so much information, so much meaning for us. And this is not the entire journey. This is an edited version, and it is also it's an edited version, and there's many more parts, and we just took out some personal parts, and we took out some things that were not related to this one subject that I wanted to talk about today. So just so everybody knows. And the way that this journey began is Lakshmi is a Hindu goddess, and she came into Terry's awareness. And as we're meditating before we meet, she came to Terry and said that she would be our guide in this journey. And I had no idea. I was running late from work, and I was trying to get on. And so it's really nice. It's really nice that that all of these things, no matter, because we're here, because we come together and we do our work, they know when we're together and when we're doing our work, and they come regardless of of what's going on in our lives. So in this journey, we meet Lakshmi, and Lakshmi takes us on a journey. And what we do is we have a vehicle that we travel in, and we travel in a lotus flower with peacock feathers. And the journey will be described to you in a video. We're going to show you a video. We also go up to the stars and over the rainbow to reach higher realms of higher frequency. And it was just amazing. Lakshmi goes to a palace, and we meet a special spirit guide there. And yes, oh, I'm sorry. And then towards the end, when we are coming back, we receive some gifts along the way. And then when we come back, Lakshmi gives us a really beautiful download of spiritual wisdom that really just knocked our socks off. So this is just a short rendition of this journey. So if everybody's ready, I'm going to go ahead and show a little video. And this is just me describing the journey, but I thought it would be fun to have some pictures to go along with it. So I'm ready when you are.
You want me to play it?
Please. Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Our recent journey provided amazing evidence for spiritual symbolism. Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess, came into Terry's awareness and let her know that she would be our guide. The first thing that appeared in our journey was the image of peacock feathers. We see ourselves each sitting in a lotus flower with peacock feathers fanned behind us, bracketing us. Then we were shown many gold lines in the ground between us. Lakshmi explained that there are energetic ley lines to counterbalance frequencies on each coast. We were guided to go up to the stars, over the rainbow, into the realms of higher frequency, where we met an elephant who joined us on the journey.
Brilliant.
We come to a palace where Lakshmi sits on a throne with elephant beside her. There appears to be thousands of objects of gold all around us, but we hear someone say that is not actually gold. What we are seeing is high vibrational, unconditional love energy. We notice that elephant has a golden aura around its head. We hear not everything that glitters is gold. Perhaps humans wanted to mimic what they saw and interpreted the shiny substance as a gold crown, and maybe why the tradition of placing gold crowns on their heads began. What they saw is the light of our own divinity, the unconditional love of our higher self, our spirit, our soul, that is emanating this shimmering gold light above our heads. Humanity places a high value on gold, but the frequency of high vibrational love is what is truly priceless. We were then advised not to let misinterpretation create fear out of the unknown. We receive gifts of compassion, peace, and blessings. They show us scissors with an oval or rounded blades. The scissors are to help us cut cords to negative attachment and negative addiction to material things, to provide healing to humanity. They also show us a crystal, a Vogel faceted crystal. This is used to see things multidimensionally and enables the ability to see things from many perspectives. Heading back home, we turned around and were instructed to jump. We asked, why jump? Lakshmi said, this gives us an opportunity to practice trust and trusting our guidance. Also, to help us learn to manage expectations. Things aren't always what they seem. We cannot predict the outcome or assume things will end up a certain way. And to release attachment to the outcome. Practice living in the moment, releasing control in every moment. We went ahead and jumped. I felt like I jumped off of a tiny curb, and Terry had peacock feather wings and was gently floating down to her landing. It was said that the human ego is what makes us need to predict the outcome. An unbalanced ego causes us to resist trust. We thank Lakshmi for all she has given us on this journey. She was happy to be our guide and assist us in our lesson. Lakshmi then shared the following. I am really you. You are the one who is leading you on this journey. You are the one who revealed all the gifts to you. Everything is within you. We are all one. The blessing from this experience is maturity and knowledge, which is truly wisdom. Wow.
Wow.
That was wonderfully done.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Done.
My favorite part was that little elephant and that little ditty that I put in there.
I love the thing about gold, the
Yeah.
interpretation of gold. That just knocked my socks off.
Yeah.
It just
Well-
makes so much sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does.
And
Well-
I'll give the reaction I gave to Jean after reading it. Pretty trippy.
Definitely trippy.
It was
Oh, it's so much
beautiful.
fun to go on adventures with Kigaru Terry. That's for sure. You two must have a blast doing this all the time.
It's a lot of fun, but you got to remember that it's the journeys are always co-led. I
Mhm.
might latch me first, but Jean then also moves this along, and I have to say that Jean understands these symbolisms so much more deeply than I do, and a lot of this particular journey is one that I call tight. I used to be a grant writer, and when I write grants, I wanted it always to be tight, where that everything I said was connected to the reason the nonprofit needed money. That there was no extra words that meant nothing. And this one was so tight that it kept giving even later on. Jean would call me up, Terry, do you know what that means?
Love it.
Yeah, it was truly amazing. And when I looked up one of the descriptions of Lakshmi, she shows us, it says, like the lotus, as the goddess of prosperity, Lakshmi shows us how to transcend material wealth for spiritual progress. And and we covet this gold, we covet this money, we want, everybody wants the riches, when the riches and everything that shines is inside of us. And they're saying, no, humans, you've got it wrong. It's not the material thing, it's in here. This is the gift, this is the riches, this is the wealth, is connecting to our spirit, to our soul. And that's what glitters. Has anybody ever seen a real angel? Has anybody ever seen a real? All right. Has anybody seen an angel in a journey or a meditation?
Yes.
Are they not just that big, brilliant gold, and like almost like the sun? Like you can't even look at them. They're they're so golden and so much energy. It is amazing. But the closest thing to that is gold. And they see the halo over the heads. Did you see the one girl's picture, the halo over the heads? And they thought, oh, the gold goes up here. Like they're trying to mimic what they saw, what they were shown when the spirit guides or the ascended masters or whoever would appear to them. And this it's so mind-blowing. It's really mind-blowing. So I'm gonna pause a minute if anybody else has anything else they want to add. If not, I can continue. So one of the things was the elephant. The elephant was so very magical and taught us so much information. I didn't know so much about the spiritual meaning of an elephant. It symbolizes wisdom, intelligence, memory, strength, and protection. And the elephant's high intelligence and exceptional memory and ability to discern and act upon emotions. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't the one. Elephant represents many things. They use their mighty strength to remove obstacles and negative forces. And they also represent wisdom, long life, memory, and vitality. So with this, the obstacles and removing negative forces, it also goes back to those scissors that we saw. And we saw scissors, and they were kind of like just floating in the ether. And I'm like, why am I seeing scissors? And I'm like, they kind of have like a roundish point to them. And
I've never seen a pair of scissors like that. I couldn't believe you found a pair of scissors that looked like that.
Terry is a farmer.
What is it used for, Terry? You're mute. You're muted.
You're muted, hon.
Sorry, somebody is doing revving up their motorcycle out here. Those types of scissors. So when Jean saw the scissors, she was describing the weird shape. I'm like, I know what that is exactly. It is scissors that are used to cut umbilical cords.
Umbilical cords.
Wow.
Both in, for humans and for animals.
Yeah, interesting.
Cool.
Wow.
And it's
I've never seen a
also
pair.
to cut the negative, they were the gifts that were shown to us, that were offered to us, so that we would carry these gifts in our medicine bag or in our tool chest, so that if we were doing a healing or a journey with somebody and they would need a negative attachment cut, we would have these scissors. But it's what it is they send us on this.
Love it.
Just the image of the scissor appeared, and they leave it up to us to uncover and to figure out and to develop what the meaning was behind it. And
So are those also for attachments? I don't mean as in people attachments or entity attachments, but attachments. Like I use an athame to cut cords when I'm doing a cord cutting thing. But those are brilliant. I've never seen anything like it. I love that.
And specifically, they were saying attachments to materialism and attachments to addiction to materialism. And it was just so appropriate for the subject and the flow of the information coming through. Ooh, and I could, let me see. The other Vogel, and as I described, the Vogel was the crystal, and the Vogel allowed us, and I said, we saw it and we were admiring it, and it was a gift that was offered to us again. So it is up to us, and we, had a feeling. They gave us a feeling of multidimensional, like all these different facets and all of these things. There's so many possibilities. There's so many angles. There's so many ways of looking at things. And this is just such a beautiful gift for us to remember that if we see something, we will remember the Vogel, and to remember to look at it in many different ways from many different angles. And it's just it's a beautiful gift that they offered. And it was, let me just see if I can go back to my page here. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, there was a lot in there. Oh, okay. The ley lines was another point that I wanted to point out. In the very beginning, when they showed us the peacock feathers, Terry, do you, let me see. The peacock feathers actually originate from the subcontinent of India, and we had Lakshmi, we had the elephant, we had the peacock feathers, and we had, it was just everything, boom, 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 was all locking, all relating to one another. And Terry and I mean, there's moments of silence in between, maybe 2-3 minutes of silence in between, and we're just waiting for them to guide us to the next place. But after we were all done, we were like, and this and this and this, it was all linked together. And as we're doing these spiritual journeys, the more that we do them, the more that we can see an entire concept coming around and forming together. They're telling us that story. It's really amazing. It's really amazing. So where was I going for that?
Well,
I was going
what I was impressed with about the peacock feathers is because in the vision, so maybe people don't know this, I live on the West Coast in the Pacific Northwest, and Jean lives on the East Coast in the other Washington. Oh, no. Yeah, around there.
Close enough.
Yeah, the thing was is that the peacock feathers, I saw the ley lines, then I saw the peacock feathers like bracketing us together, like aiming together, like creating some sort of energetic connection between us. And I did not know at the time when I saw the peacock feathers the importance of the peacock feathers and Lashmi. It like I said, this was very tight, and I didn't quite see all of the things, and it took a while to go back and kind of take a look at some of these.
So this one was amazing to me that when I found this photo, because this is like the vehicle that Terry and I traveled in. And these are not peacock feathers here, but they were peacock feathers for us. But we were sitting in a lotus flower with peacock feathers fanned behind us, just like the peacock feather description or the picture that I showed. And it was when I saw this, I'm like, oh, that's what we wrote in. I was like, it's really real. It's really real. It was amazing. It was amazing.
And what are the meanings of the lotus blossom?
Let me go back to my notes. The lotus is a symbol for purity, fertility, and beauty. It is. It is also, the lotus is also Lakshmi, is prosperity and life, and yeah, that's what I have for
And
lotus.
the lotus flower actually, if you go to many of the other like Asian countries, you will almost always see Buddha sitting in a lotus
Yeah.
flower. And in fact, Lashmi, who has many, many hands, she that I don't want to say she appears, but that idea appears in many, many cultures. And in fact, soon after this journey, I went to Japan and I went to a temple, a specific temple, because it was the spiritual heart of Japan. And when I went to the booth to see, like what kind of little things you can buy, one of the things that came to me that I had to do is, here is a Buddha, but it is the still spirit of Lakshmi. All those arms, look at the lotus that the Buddha is riding in. Yeah, so the lotus flower is really deep. There's more to it. I haven't uncovered everything about that, but yeah.
And isn't the lotus also a different way of showing like the prism, where it's multifaceted? There's layers and layers
Layers and
of,
layers.
Right.
of
Like
petals. Yeah.
I think so.
Wow. Wow. It's oof. Yeah. It's just amazing the way that these synchronicities happened after, we're all like, getting all these meanings, and we're finishing the journey that we had, and we're like, okay, good night. It was really great. We'll have to record this one or whatever. So after that, then like the next day something happened, and then Terry goes to Japan and gets all these, she goes, Gene, you wouldn't believe what I saw, and it's like they present things to us in our everyday life. After we had the meditation, after we had the journey, these things kept coming up and reminding and validating that we are here. And I had peacock feathers everywhere I turned around. I'm like, I saw peacock feathers all day today. And
I love it.
this is the way that spirit guides will talk to us. It's not the only way, but it is a way for us to connect to our spirits, and to get to know spiritual symbolism, to get open-minded, to be playful, to be creative, and to understand that when you see a pair of scissors like in the ether just flying around, and I'm like, it's not really landing, like it's not. I thought, what is this? And then when Terry said that, I just about fell off my chair. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And they showed me the scissors, knowing I didn't know, but Terry did. They know that we're working together. don't leave anything to chance. Don't leave anything don't doubt. Don't doubt anything is possible. They know what Terry knows, what I know, and what we're trying to open up and to learn. They teach us spiritual laws, spiritual meaning, and give us experiences so that we can be better readers and spiritual guides to you, to all of you here too. And it's amazing how much they know, how much they knew that Terry would go to Japan and find all of these synchronicities in Japan. Of course, it's Asian as well, and it is repetitious in the Asian culture as well. But it was just so magical for us, and it was day after day after day. So when Priscilla and Heather asked me, what do you want to present to everybody and talk about? I said, spiritual symbolism.
And of course, we're going to have to do a show on spiritual symbolism now.
But it's so beautiful. This was our own personal journey, our own personal experience. And I just was really, really honored to be able to share it with y'all. So would you like to show the little 5-minute video once more and just
Absolutely.
pay attention to the elephant, you guys, because that's my favorite part.
Wait a minute, let me see how I get it to start over. Okay,
There it is.
Here we go.
Our recent journey provided amazing evidence for spiritual symbolism. Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess, came into Terry's awareness and let her know that she would be our guide. The first thing that appeared in our journey was the image of peacock feathers. We see ourselves each sitting in a lotus flower with peacock feathers fanned behind us, bracketing us. Then we were shown many gold lines in the ground between us. Lakshmi explained that there are energetic ley lines to counterbalance frequencies on each coast. We were guided to go up to the stars, over the rainbow, into the realms of higher frequency, where we met an elephant who joined us on the journey. We come to a palace where Lakshmi sits on a throne with elephant beside her. There appears to be thousands of objects of gold all around us, but we hear someone say that is not actually gold. What we are seeing is high vibrational, unconditional love energy. We notice that elephant has a golden aura around its head. We hear not everything that glitters is gold. Perhaps humans wanted to mimic what they saw and interpreted the shiny substance as a gold crown, and maybe why the tradition of placing gold crowns on their heads began. What they saw is the light of our own divinity, the unconditional love of our higher self, our spirit, our soul, that is emanating this shimmering gold light above our heads. Humanity places a high value on gold, but the frequency of high vibrational love is what is truly priceless. We were then advised not to let misinterpretation create fear out of the unknown. We receive gifts of compassion, peace, and blessings. They show us scissors with an oval or rounded blades. The scissors are to help us cut cords to negative attachment and negative addiction to material things, to provide healing to humanity. They also show us a crystal, a Vogel-faceted crystal. This is used to see things multidimensionally and enables the ability to see things from many perspectives. Heading back home, we turned around and were instructed to jump. We asked, why jump? Lakshmi said, this gives us an opportunity to practice trust and trusting our guidance. Also, to help us learn to manage expectations. Things aren't always what they seem. We cannot predict the outcome or assume things will end up a certain way. And to release attachment to the outcome. Practice living in the moment, releasing control in every moment. We went ahead and jumped. I felt like I jumped off of a tiny curb, and Terry had peacock feather wings and was gently floating down to her landing. It was said that the human ego is what makes us need to predict the outcome. An unbalanced ego causes us to resist trust. We thank Lakshmi for all she has given us on this journey. She was happy to be our guide and assist us in our lesson. Lakshmi then shared the following. I am really you. You are the one who is leading you on this journey. You are the one who revealed all the gifts to you. Everything is within you. We are all one. The blessing from this experience is maturity and knowledge, which is truly wisdom. So that's what my angel looked like when I saw it, that really, really bright, bright, bright yellow. And you could barely even make it out because there was so much shine coming, but you saw a figure behind it. That was why I put that there. But the most important, the message that she showed us, that when she said, I am really you, and that you are the one taking yourself on this journey. You are the one revealing all of these gifts, all of these spiritual lessons, all of these synchronicities for you. You're the one doing it, Jean. You're the one doing it, Terry. You're the one doing it. We have all of this inside of us, and that we look to them, but they are just guiding us to allow our own soul's energy, our own soul's teachings to come through. And when she said, I am really you. You are the one who is taking you on this journey. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It was us the whole time. It's almost like, I'm getting the chills. At the end of Wizard of Oz, when the good witch says, Dorothy, you've always had the power within you. This is a repeated lesson all throughout history. And they're telling us again, it's all you. You're doing this. It's you. We are the ones creating our own lives. It was just, it blew me away. And I see that Lark said those exact same words in the chat. I did star it. Lark Kemper, can I pop that up? Would you all mind?
Go ahead.
No, right ahead.
Are we doing it at the same time? Sorry.
That's okay. We needed a little break there. So Lark wrote this, I am you and you are me. We're all one. And this resonates perfectly with me. He wrote that before I got to the end of this presentation. And before before Lakshmi said these things, he already said it. He put this in the chat before we got to that point. I was like blown away. I'm like, oh my gosh, Lark, we are definitely connected.
Yeah.
Ooh, and Morella says, wow, love that about the gold interpretation. Yeah, isn't that amazing that the shine is our I love that one woman with the hair with the fro and the gold coming from behind her, and it just looks just like a crown, and it's amazing. Oh my gosh. And Jay says, we're all doing this at the same time. Synchronicity and divine design. Yeah, I can't get over. Yeah. Lark. Yep. I know. And it's just a matter of tuning in. It's just a matter of allowing the possibility, allowing ourselves to receive and to be self-aware that this is all possible. It's not there's so much materialistic and 3D and denser energies that we have to go to our jobs, we have to put gas in the car, and there's so many things that pull us away, but they want us to come back, they want us to come inside, and they want us to travel with them. They want us to do the meditations, they want us to do the journeys, they want us to find out more about who we truly are. And these are the spiritual lessons, these universal lessons and secrets of the universe.
Yeah.
It's true.
One of the things that we didn't touch on, but as we played the video again, it was something that really spoke to me as a psychic medium, was the part trust, where that we need to, not anticipate the outcome. And for me, that's something that I always have to do. Once in a great while, I'll be reading and I'll think, oh, it's going like this, so it's going to end like this. And it never ends like that. They always show me something else, or they're just trying to get my attention, I think, to like, oh, okay, oh, there you are. But they often do that. And so I think it's really important that all of us have to kind of disconnect from the outcome we want. That
Exactly.
And so many
Expectations. They get you every time.
It's beautiful. What really hit me on second viewing was the scissors again, and about how we need to cut attachments to negative energies or old ways or whatever in order to birth something new, and otherwise we're staying in a place where it's especially deep now after Terry told us that those are really for physical cord cut-ins, that you can't stay there anymore. You need to move forward if you want to grow, if you want to make the most of this lifetime. You can't stay in the womb. You have to cut that cord, or you have to leave and cut the cord and move on to the next growth opportunity.
Sure.
So just finding that made that whole concept so much deeper and more resonant. That was just beautiful.
One thing that we didn't mention that also really stood at the time, really stood out, was that, Lashmi is also about prosperity. And that's why that, for Jean, who knows a little bit more about Lashmi, wasn't surprised that there was gold everywhere. I was a tiny bit more surprised at it. Not super surprised, because I only see pictures of her with lots of gold. But I didn't realize that she helps with prosperity and stuff. And the peacock feather, if you take a good look at the peacock feather, it either looks like an eye or like a little coin. It also talks about prosperity. And so, it's easy to maybe want to get lost in the prosperity of coins and gold, but what she's really saying, is this is spiritual prosperity.
Very nice. Very nice.
Everything. That's everything.
Well, I have a question about when you do these journeys together. You're speaking, it sounds like you were both envisioning the same thing at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
A lot of times what happens in our co-journeys is one or the other of us might, we're just meditating at first. We're just quiet. And then one of the other of us spots something.
Okay.
And, maybe Jean might spot it and say, Terry, do you see X, Y, and Z? And then I'll try to look deeper. And then usually then I see exactly what she sees. And then it's like, then once that first connection's made, then we're just seeing the same thing the whole time.
Cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And this was very much my perspective when I was editing and listening and recording. I picked out the things that were stood out to me in the shared journey, and there was so much more in it. And there's no way we could have recorded everything or written down everything. But what we just wanted to demonstrate was that the ability to go into our imagination, to go into our the other realms, and go up to, and they always take us to a new dimension. They take us on over the stars and over it to the stars and over the rainbow to the high vibrational frequency. That's where that is, and they take us up there, and that's where we have it. And they just invite us, and it's amazing that it sort of like happens. And I lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry, but it's really I just lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. But
I love what Lark Kemper just said. They are perfect tuning forks for each other.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I feel that way when I'm reading with Jean. Yeah.
That's the ley lines. That's the ley lines. Remember, Terry, that she was in her lotus flower on Washington State. I was in my lotus flower in Washington, D.C., and we were looking down onto the earth, and we saw all these gold lines. And that's when Lakshmi said they were like ley lines, but it was like an energetic frequency that between Terry and I, that we were vibrating. And this is why we are not in the same town together, because then, the US would go like this. No, I'm kidding.
Stay away.
But Lark, you're probably in the journey with us, because we have the vibrations of those ley lines, and we're connecting to one another. And that's what you feel, that vibration, that frequency, that we're tuning into one another. And we also, I just think, I don't know, there's some other reason, like a past life reason, obviously. But oh, wow. What did she say? Working on.
It's okay, Jean. We're working our psyche in multiple dimensions.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Jumping jacks.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. It does. But it's just, it was, there's many, many, many more synchronicities and symbolism and just gifts and ahas in that one journey. It was absolutely magical.
Right.
Cool.
It was magical. Just listening. Incredible.
Just kind of what we learned is that there are so many more spiritual symbols than just what we kind of our old reliables: butterflies, pennies, dimes, angel numbers. There's so much more, but you have to kind of open your mind to that, and that can be a little bit more of a challenge.
Trust, believe.
Yeah, and everyone develops their own spiritual or symbolic vocabulary.
Yes.
And like I mentioned, the religious vocabulary, symbolic vocabulary, like, that Michael carries the Archangel Michael carries a sword, and Raphael has this little pouch of healing, and the pelican is a symbol of Christ, because when they don't have food, they feed their young from their own flesh, and all this stuff. So some of that, I learned growing up Catholic, and sometimes that kind of imagery will come to me in a reading. So it's like shorthand for, oh, you're really sacrificing yourself or giving of yourself for doing that. But then other times it's like the hose or something else. And then sometimes it's interesting about symbols that come to us. I don't know if they're symbols or if they're literal. One time I was in a reading, and it was all about, I don't remember the woman or what we were reading about, but it was all about a journey. And I saw the ship captain, and we were going to different ports and exploring different things. And the ship captain had a specific uniform on, and it looked like a British naval uniform, except it was like he was wearing a kilt and a hat. And I could describe the outfit that he was wearing, the uniform he was wearing to a T. So, and at the very end of the reading, it came out that I think it was her birth father. I think she didn't know him well, but she knew that he was in the British Navy. And then it was like, oh, so that was your dad leading us on this journey the whole time. And afterwards, I had to go and Google British Navy uniforms, and I found the exact kilt and the hat and it was like, yeah, so that was her dad. So sometimes you just have to trust the symbol and it'll get its message through. And then you can go back and maybe find deeper meaning to it in a practical way too.
Wow.
That's
Right.
amazing.
Right. It shows up in our everyday life. Like,
Yeah.
wait, that was in the journey. How could that be here now?
Yes.
And it's just reminding you that it's all real. No matter if
real.
it's here or here, it's all real. There is no difference. Wow. That was good.
That's amazing.
It's
So fun.
so did we have any more commenters? Did you want to pop them up there? I'm not sure who was
Well,
doing.
let's see. I thought this was interesting from Jay. This all happened already in my dream meditation this morning. All of you were there. We were practicing these connection exercises with crystals that had codes.
Oh
That's
my
pretty cool.
gosh.
Cool.
And I really like this one from Lark. Co-creators working together to change the world, because that's what we're all
That's
out
what
here
we
doing.
all are.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's beautiful. That's the only one I
Yeah.
got. That's it for the stars. If I
Yeah.
missed something.
Well, I just want to thank each and every one of you who were here to witness it, who were holding space for us, who was gracious and didn't. Maybe you were giggling when I put the elephant and then put that little thing. That was my favorite part. I just wanted to watch it again. The elephant. But yeah, the lessons and the universal secrets that we learned, and the repetition of these, Dorothy, you've always had the power within you, that it is
Mhm.
they're profound, and it's important for us to remember we're awakening to who we truly are.
Right.
And this is just another way to help show all of us how just one way of experiencing this. And there's so many different experiences. It is infinite possibilities.
Definitely infinite possibilities. If
Truly,
anybody
truly.
wants to share their symbols that come up to them all the time, we usually have symbols that repeat each of us. Let us know in the chat what your specific symbols are if you have them. Mine is the number 252. It pops up all the time. And that happens to be the time of day my daughter was born. But
Oh,
it happens all the time. And it has for years. So that's just, if that pops up, I know it's important.
And I have a yellow butterfly that shows up all the time. And I swear they're just saying hello, just reminding me, hey, we're still here.
I love that.
wow. Yeah, and you get that feeling too when you see these things.
Yeah.
Yes,
Aw.
you do.
Yes. You feel well loved.
Yeah.
And there are times when you really need that.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Well, Jean,
Well,
thank you so much for that. This has been an amazing presentation. I hope I don't suck at the next one. It's going to be hard to beat this one or come close to it.
we're not
Oh,
trying
my
to beat
goodness.
it.
Oh, I know.
And
I
there
know.
is no way, there's no way, Priscilla, you're going to suck.
I don't know. But the next month, everybody, I'm going to be the presenter next month, and we're going to talk about soul contracts. So that'll be the first Monday of July. That'll be interesting. And anything you ladies want to talk about what you're doing in the next few?
Well, they're
Dragonflies,
answering your question.
yes.
They're all filing in. So Denise says dragonflies. Varela says feathers. Arlene says 1212 and 1010. I think that numbers are like frequency codes. That's what I think. And Jay says numbers and feathers and butterflies. Wow. So they're all falling
I
in.
love
And
it.
Oil
Right.
Painter says 477, feathers, sticks, rocks. Yeah, rocks, heart-shaped rocks, right? Yeah. And smells too. David's here. Hi, David. I did a reading for Happy. That's his cat who passed away just a few weeks ago. David, I still feel for you, hon. Happy's still with me. Oh my gosh. Aw, wow. How do you
love
raise? Anthony wants to know, hello, how do you raise your vibration? The number one suggestion that I have is gratitude. Practice gratitude. Write down things that you're grateful for. I am grateful for the chair I am sitting on. I am grateful for the shoes on my feet. I am grateful for the breath that I'm breathing. I mean, just gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Love, love, love. And it is really a good way. Mantras are also a very good way to just switch that energy and raise that
I
vibration.
think gratitude's number one for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But along with it is things like dancing.
Meditation.
No, I was going to say dancing and singing and enjoying yourself. If you're happy, then you're raising
your
your
vibe.
vibration.
That's what I was going to say. Happiness, whatever makes you happy, if it's music or dancing or, like when I'm praying and getting ready and want to raise my vibration, I think of my granddaughters because they make me so happy,
Yeah.
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 So
Exactly.
happiness is a very good one.
That is
Yeah.
good.
There's all sorts of different ways. You just do what works for you.
And maybe that's the suggestion for one of our next shows: how to raise your vibration. Right?
Why
Yeah.
not?
Right on.
That's a great one. That's a
Yep.
great one.
We can all bring in
Okay,
our favorite.
ladies, I think we're done for today.
Sounds good.
Thank you all so much for being here. I just love getting together with the three of you. And everybody, please send Terry Lee some healing energy. She
Yes.
has some issues going on, and we want to send her lots of love and light for quick recovery.
Exactly.
Thank you for joining us in the chat. We love your input and appreciate each and every one of you being here. Go out and shine your light the rest of the week and
And
spread
your
the
love.
love.
And don't forget to spread it to you too.
Bye-bye, everyone.